Bob allegedly, perhaps a Maybelline. Yeah.
Love it. Are you still in Miami, John?
Yes, but I'm ready to get the hell out of here, Bob.
Already, huh?
Yes, I don't like the United States anymore.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, don't let the door hit you on your way out, my friend. No, I hear you. I mean, we've got problems here, no question, but it's
I
still a
just
great country, in my opinion.
Oh, it's the best country in the world. I'm beyond blessed to be a citizen of this incredible country, but I just don't want to spend my time here. You know, one of the freedoms that we have, one of the liberties that we are blessed with is to be able to go and travel, and we have access to so many other different countries. You know, I just don't want
Hmm.
to spend my time here. I love the economy. I love that's pretty much what I love about this country is the economy and the opportunity. And I just want to leverage this economy and opportunity, you know, to go live other places because it will afford me the lifestyle that I want to live.
Fantastic. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
To each his own.
Yes, sir. But I'm a little upset, Bob.
Oh boy. Why is that?
I'm hearing word now that they're trying to get me to take a 30K haircut on my deal, and so
The
this
one the one that closed?
it hasn't closed yet.
Oh, okay. Why is that? Why are they wanting you to take a 30K cut?
They're saying that the survey came back and it's less acreage,
Ooh,
um, and so they purchased this on a per acre basis. And so my
right?
my agent, I don't know, man. This guy, I really just don't feel like he's ever had my best interest in mind. I feel like he's been salty, you know, that I'm making money this way since the beginning, and you know, I try to give him a shot. I got to be less understanding of people, man. I gotta stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. I swear to God, that's my downfall. You know, I just give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to see the good in people, and it always ends up fucking me over. But I feel like this guy, you know, he must have known this other agent because originally we had gone to this guy and he was supposed to try to get this sold off market. You know, he gave us the runaround, said nobody was interested. And then after we gave him a listing agreement, he said, "Oh yeah, I know all these people, and yeah, you know, now they're
Huh.
interested." And you know, this guy just seems like a complete joke himself. So I would never do business with him. I will not suggest anybody do business with this guy. He doesn't know what type of bridge he's burning. Um, and I really would hate to see this deal be less of an assignment than I was anticipating because I was really anticipating a specific number on this deal, and then the other deal is like looking like it's going to be less of a deal, and I just
Well,
I just want to get
just
that big breakthrough, Bob. I want to get that huge big check, you know.
so a couple of things. Number one, every deal always starts off as the most fantastic deal ever in the entire history of the world. Okay. And then at the end of closing, it's like, yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't what I expected. Almost all deals are like that. Okay. So, um, if you know that and you prepare yourself for that and you keep your expectations in alignment, okay? And don't expect a lot, but in return, um, you know, expect the worst and hope for the best, as they say. Then you're not going to be so down. Emotionally, it helps a lot. Okay. The other part of it is I always tell my team, we're always after singles and doubles. Okay. That's what I go after. Your 5,000, 10,000, $20,000 singles and doubles. Okay. Now, if once in a while we come across a nice juicy one, fantastic. Those are your triples, home runs, grand slams. Okay. Just had a nice little, I guess it's a grand slam, closed. Well, it closed yesterday. So that one was fun. Okay.
Congratulations.
Uh, thank you. Thank you. So that one, you celebrate more. But I don't go into every deal expecting that kind of a deal. You know what I mean? I go into every deal expecting to make a minimum amount, making sure my team is taken care of, making sure that I make a little bit of money so that I can provide for my family. And then the rest is all gravy. It's all bonus. Okay. So if you look at it from that point of view, then yes, 30,000, big hit. Absolutely. Okay. But
Atrocious.
yeah, but 30,000 in $100,000 deal, in a $500,000 deal, still a good chunk, but it doesn't hurt as much.
Oh, it
30,000 on a
hurts.
$40,000 deal, yeah, now you're mad, right? So I get it. It hurts. Absolutely, it hurts. No question, it hurts. Okay. But set your expectations so it doesn't hurt as much, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the gym.
Ooh, take it out on those weights, my man. That's the right thing to do.
They won't know what hit them, man.
I love it. I love it. There he is, Mr. Rinse and Repeat.
Good morning, all.
In that new background, I got to get used to it.
I'm still trying to I'm still trying to figure out like where to put it. It's just a mess.
He's got the
Is this
natural
your
lighting now.
is this your room? Your
This
your
is-
work room?
This is my designated space that
Nice.
I'm allowed to do what I would like to do with it.
So you don't have to go into the closet anymore?
Correct. I have one 12 by 12 space in this entire house that I'm allowed to do what I want to do with it.
Love it. Love it.
How's everybody?
Everybody's doing great.
Doing good,
Well-
doing good. I'll hop out here soon for showing, but I want to pop in for a little bit. How are you doing, Matt?
Good, Carson. Good to have you. Good to
Likewise.
see you.
Welcome,
Good to
welcome
see
to
you,
my
I should
show.
say. Yeah, I was gonna say, good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
What is this 30K haircut that I'm reading? Good morning, Sebastian.
These motherfuckers, they played me,
What
man.
happened?
Only way to describe them.
John got robbed, bro. They charged him 30,000 for a haircut,
I might actually.
That's
quit wholesale
Miami
after
for
this,
you,
dude,
man.
I swear to God.
bro. He went to this special barber with a van and everything, and I guess John thought it was only 300, but it was 30,000.
All
Are
right,
you
what-
guys serious?
I'm
what-
not
Dead
kidding.
ass, bro.
what-
You're actually
Dead
serious.
ass.
Dead ass. At least he looks, bro. He has the illest fade though. You gotta give it to him.
Y'all trying to see
I know it was kind of
results.
30,000, but
John, is this
Bro,
serious?
I saw that shit. I got COVID immediately.
bro, the fade on it is ridiculous.
That shit was contagious.
Can you return it?
John's lying.
Look at
There's
that.
no way. There's no way. There's no way.
It was,
There's no way.
bro. It was worth it at the end of the day.
Could you return it and get a half back at least, or no?
You
We're not
created
talking-
finance or created finance it?
We're not talking about this kind of haircut, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about this deal that I've got in Georgia.
That's what I assumed it was.
These motherfuckers trying to make me take a fat haircut. I feel like this.
The one you got, the one that's closing Friday or the Mexico
Yeah.
one?
The one I'm closing Friday.
Oh, they
the-
went over it.
100K land deal?
It's not 100K. It looks like now, dude. Dude, this fucking agent. I feel like this agent was in bed with these motherfuckers because he gave us the runaround, and in the beginning he was like, yeah, I'm that guy in this market. I'm a top performing agent. This and that. I got all these connections. I'm like, all right. Can we get this sold off market? He's like, yeah, I'll ask around. And then he said, there were a couple of interested people. Dude, this kind of shit, you just don't understand how this makes me feel. Like, I feel violated, Matt. I feel like this is the type of shit that makes me want to quit. And of course, I'll say this stuff, but I'll never quit because I'm that motherfucker just so hard headed. Like, I just don't give up. But this is that kind of shit that really puts me in a mentality where it's like, dude, this business is
Cutthroat, baby.
no.
They made you. They knew the week was coming to an end, and they're like,
Right.
you know what? Let's. Like they probably knew if they were gonna go for a price reduction. They knew like a while back.
This is the kind of bullshit, bro. Because when he submitted that offer, he did something tricky, and I wasn't aware of this. So this is gonna be some sauce, for everybody. I'm gonna save you some heartache. Okay, this feels. I think this honestly feels como. kind of like, dude, I'm like in a whole different headspace today. But like, this kind of feels worse than heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? This feels worse than heartbreak. I just feel violated. Like, I try to prevent this. I try to make sure, you know, there's no surprises and shit as we get to closing. I call the agent, call his broker, doing everything. They're trying to reassure me this and that, and I'm like, bro, because it's like, what can I do? What leverage do I have? We're here at closing now. It's not like this agent is gonna take a haircut on his assignment or on his fee. I don't think I can even try to renegotiate something like that here at the closing table.
I mean, they're negotiating you. I mean, does he have a right, Bob? I mean, doesn't he?
What do you think?
Yeah, can't you negotiate the?
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Right?
Is exactly you got two things popped up into my mind. Number
Uh-huh.
one is if they really have the correct facts and if the acreage is less than what you were told by the seller, I'd go back to the seller and go, hey, this is what you told me. This is what was found based on the survey. Can't buy it at that price. Gotta renegotiate. That'd be number one.
Smart.
I'm not even trying to renegotiate with the seller though, because he's been so like laid back. He's been so chill. Like
Take
he
it with the
hasn't given me-
agent, bro.
Brother, if,
Oh, yeah,
if
he's
I
a
was
cool guy.
telling you, if I was selling you 100 acres of land and I told you that it's 200 acres of land, I'd be very laid back too, because I'm getting paid per acre from you.
Or 123.
But
Right.
this
Or
guy,
if it was, I
can
said
tell
123 acres.
this guy wasn't trying to take advantage of me or anything, and we're
I
talking
know he
about-
wasn't. I know he wasn't. I'm not
He-
saying he was
but
taking advantage of you.
The seller never told me that it was 15.37 acres. The seller described it as 15 acres. So the online data says 15.37. And so I'm thinking that, okay, this is going to be 15.37. The seller never said to me, this is 15.37. He said 15 acres.
Okay.
But
And
all
so
of the
what did
information
you sell
online-
it for? Did you sell it for 15 acres or
I-
15.37?
0.37 because that's the county assessor data. That's what all the information says online that it is, and so that's what I'm assuming is going to be word.
Okay. So you need to find out where that 0.37 went.
That's
Maybe
what
the
I
survey
asked.
was incorrect.
That's what I
Could the
asked.
survey be incorrect? Could you have them do another survey? Could you do a survey on your
But
own?
Bob, the problem is we're 1 week away from closing. Like this is supposed to close on Friday. These types of issues should have been addressed months ago. Like we've been in escrow for over 60 days. Like this is we're coming
I
up
understand.
on like 90 days here, and then I can't go
I
back to the
understand.
seller and ask him like, "Hey man, I need a little price reduction, or I need some extension."
No, what you can do is you can go back to the seller and go, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. I took you on your word. I took the word of the county, okay? You said you're selling me 15 acres. Perfectly okay. I'm totally okay with that. I went online and I checked, and the county records show that it's 15.37 acres. That's what I put it up for to sell for. Unfortunately, the survey that they did came back and said it's 15 acres. Okay. So I need to either be able to come up with the right figures and rebuff their numbers, okay, by doing another survey, okay, or I got to do something else. Are you okay if we, you've been so good with me, you've dealt with me, and I really like you. I would definitely want to finish this off with you, but I just need a little bit more time. I know that sigh. Boy, do I know
I
that sigh.
can't, dude. I know I can't.
Why not?
I know I can't. I can't pull that kind of fuck shit with this guy because he's been too good. Like I wouldn't feel right doing this to him. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if I were to do that, it would just be me being greedy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a stack. If I'm gonna do that, it would just be me being greedy. I feel like this agent took advantage of the fact that I was naive in terms of how this buyer structured their offer. They were not transparent with me. They did not have my best interest in mind. They were only trying to make their 3%. They did not give a fuck about whatever I had going on. And I know that this guy was fucking salty because he knew that I was trying to get 100K on this fucking deal, and he would be getting the 3%, which was like 30K. And I know that was a huge motivating factor just based off the way this guy was talking. I'm pretty sure he got in touch with the seller because the seller had mentioned that there was an agent, and the seller wouldn't have known about any agent reaching out to him. And I can't recall 100% if he said his name, but it's too much, man. It's too much going on. I just feel like, dude, I'm the one that's going to get the short end of the stick here because, I got no time to really make a play here. And, even though I'm complaining about big money, like I'm still netting an American salary on a deal like this, I'm not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? I would have been satisfied, with more money. But I feel like at this point,
it's a lot about the principle too, because it's not lying, but it's lying by implying.
by omission.
I don't know, but it's definitely dishonest in some areas somewhere.
This kind of shit just makes me so angry. Like, I just don't even want to go through this kind of thing again, to be honest. Like, this kind of shit makes me so
It's gonna be worth it.
angry.
It's gonna be worth it. Cost of doing business, I guess. Pity people. That's the cost of benefit of the doubt. I bet the benefit outweighs the doubt at the end of the day because it surrounds you with like loyal ballers you can trust. Like this guy, you're never gonna talk to this guy again, and you'll go do it 100 times and you'll get a bad end of the stick like 60 times, and 40 times, maybe 20 times, you'll meet some good people, like really good people to continuously do business with, good business over and over, time and time again, who are happy to see you win, even if they're winning a little bit less, but they should be happy that they're winning too.
Here's the challenge with that, Carson. You and I may be looking at this objectively. Right now, John is boiling in his emotions, and he can't think that way.
I'm emotional too. That's dishonest as shit. That's dishonest. No, we can be emotional. You gotta mix. You gotta mix both, man. I think the emotion's important too, because then they don't know if you're serious or not. I mean, we can't call them and cry and say, "Please give me that 30K," but we gotta step on some toes, because it's the same thing happening.
Yeah.
Did
you have a nice conversation with the realtor who told you this? Your realtor?
Listen, man, I told him I need to make a call before I say anything to you. I said I need to make a call, and then I hop right on coffee with closers because I know myself. I know when I got to take a step back. Sometimes I'll get to the point, Bob, where I'm really about to let myself, succumb to my emotions. And before I let myself succumb to my emotions, I always take that step back, because when I take that step back, that's when I create that space to create the clarity of how I want to move forward. Because in the past, I used to just react. But the key is don't react, respond. And so the way that I'm going to respond to this guy is coming and consulting, with the people that are here on the panel and in the audience and the community. Because this kind of bullshit, has got me clearly frustrated. And, I have to really weigh my options and see, what is it that I can do? I got only so much time. I already felt some sort of way because this agent, they just clearly, they're trying to run the show. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to run the show in a way that I don't like where this is going. And unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where it's like I'm not really even sure what my options are, because I need the money. Yeah, I need the money, dude. Like I'm not gonna front. Like I need to get cashed out. This deal's been going on too long. I want to get paid. I want the seller to get his money, and I gotta pay out Mr. Casco. Like there's too many people riding on this deal. It's so much bigger than just me. So I can't even think about I want to make the most money. At this point, I got to make sure everybody gets paid out and everybody makes money. So it's
Can you negotiate the agent's commission?
Not now.
Well, the agent's shady. Like, there's so many moving pieces in the deal. Like, the agent's shady. We have no idea what this guy could do. I say it like I'm involved in the deal, but, I'm not. But the agent has already been shady reaching out to the seller. I remember you saying something about that, like, a while ago and being like, damn, because I knew it's a big deal. So we're talking 6 figures, guys. So it's like there's a lot of moving pieces, because what's this guy going to do if he thinks that now we're trying to haircut him? He could potentially blow up the deal. He doesn't have all the control, but he has a little bit of control, and he has a little bit of sway on some people. He's got the seller's contact info. How do you think the seller would react if he realized John Johnson's about to make $70K for doing how the realtor would tell him he's going to say John Johnson's doing nothing? Really, John Johnson's working pretty hard, but he's going to be like, he's doing nothing, he's not flipping it, he's not even buying it. He's just selling it. He's gonna make all this money. Like, no, me and you, let's just list this. I'll do 5%. Like, you never know. You never know. There's a lot of moving parts.
I might have to try to renegotiate something, but I just don't know at this point, man. I don't know. Maybe I could try to get the buyer to pay. But the thing is, dude, we're here at the closing table, so it's like, I don't even feel like I have any leverage to be doing this, man. My contract's going to expire. Like,
Well, that's what they're counting on, is that you're under pressure, you know, and so you're going to fold. Okay.
never fold.
Well, if you got a bad hand, you got to fold, but I don't think you have a bad hand. So maybe just close it and make this a learning experience. Anytime you got a deal that's this big, try to double close it.
I don't even think it's just that. I think also I need to get an NCNDA signed with this fucking agent. They should not be talking to the
That too.
seller. They shouldn't be doing any of this BS. Like,
Ooh, that's smart. An NCDA
Yep.
or an NDA. I was thinking there was a thing called NC, like no contact.
Yeah, they can't circumvent me because this is just atrocious. The level of frustration that I'm facing right now is very high. I'm very surprised at how well I've been able to maintain my composure because I'm angry.
Answer that
Adam has
question, Juan. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'll answer this question real quick. The agent goes and lists, wouldn't he be able to get sued? So, I mean, you could sue anybody, but does that mean you're right? Super subjective. But like honestly, I could see where a realtor could blow this deal and not be legally liable. But I don't know. He is actually representing John, so he does hold a fiduciary role to John as his realtor. Because I mean, as a realtor myself, if you hold a fiduciary to somebody, like you are legally required to act 100% in your client's best interest, buyer, seller, renter, whoever. So I'd say definitely. You know, I'd say definitely to a degree. If there's proof,
I've never heard of it that
this
way.
guy ruined it.
Definitely to a degree. Okay.
Definitely to a degree, yeah.
Definitely,
Hey.
to a degree.
Yeah.
100%.
Because it's a little subjective. 100%, 80%.
80% of the
100%,
time.
80% of the time.
Because it depends. It's like 3 or 4 variables here. There's variables. If X is greater than 3, then 100%.
I think taking it, all the things that have been said are very accurate, and kind of also touching on it additionally, again, what we talked about before, this is why it's so important to have your systems and structure set up. So in this period, you've been doing this deal now for 100 days or however long it's been.
Too long.
So having something that was also churning out money in that span of time, because when money is flowing in, it allows you to make better decisions and not make rash decisions in these moments where it allows you to take a step back and allows you to make a better decision because you already have money coming in. You have a business that's already churning out money to you. So again, these 100K deals are fantastic, but they take a long time. And then the second that something happens, it jeopardizes the entire deal. And if you're only focused on this one big deal, and a lot of it's riding on this, you don't make the best decisions in those moments. It's just like anything else. Like when you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of money, and you got that first deal on the table, and you need it to close because you got to pay your bills, and it's the first deal. Your back is against the wall. You likely are going to make a bad decision at that point, or yell at somebody, or make a rash move. And so I think this is a solidifier that, again, these big deals are great, but you also have to build a system out that also pays you consistently on smaller deals as well. So that way you can either make a good decision here and go, you know what, I'm not going to sell, I'm not going to do a price reduction. That's on me. I fucked up, or I don't want to do that to the seller. That's just greedy. It's fine. I'll take an L here and I'll move on, and I know better for the next time. And you're not having these moments where like you're in this bad of a mood, which I understand, man. It's a big haircut. So I think it just, again, it's a learning moment in this business. This is a cutthroat business. Like, again, that's why people make a ton of money here because we're talking about, assets that are worth $100,000 to $100 million. There's no other asset type out there, other than that. There's no car, there's no nothing else that touches real estate in the capacity of the amount of money that you can make from it, unless we're selling private jets, basically. But with that comes a lot of bullshit and so you just gotta make it work.
Matt's that friend that tells you what you need to hear.
It sucks, man. Don't get me wrong. I just had a moment yesterday where I was like, you know what? These motherfuckers make me not want to do it. Like, I had two buyers that just are the biggest idiots I've ever met in my life all of a sudden. And then, like, this one guy was like, I don't work on weekends, so if you still want to work with me on this deal, I'll talk Monday. I have some questions. I was like, all right, well, what are your questions so we can get to them on Monday? And he's like, if you're around on Monday, we'll get to it. And he's like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't work weekends, and but then continued to rattle off text messages to me.
Oh, he's a newbie.
So now
He's
I just got an extra
He has
email
no clue.
from the agent saying
He needs to go ask his buddy some questions to ask you. That's what it is, man.
It's yeah, that's probably true too. And I could probably show you who it is too, because he's from.
Oh, don't tell me he's a sub two.
I don't think he is. I don't
Okay.
think he is. No, but then and then again though, because I got temporarily, I wanted to wring this dude's neck the way that he was talking to me. Just like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't need to work I was like, what are you, Jeff Bezos? What are you talking about? I just moved to Tennessee from Chicago. I don't have a refrigerator, a washer and dryer. I'm living out of this office right here, and I'm still talking to you about this deal. I go, because at the end of the day, the only people that are you taking another 3 days, it's only affecting the seller and the listing agent, all these other people. You're not affecting me, you're affecting them. And so it got frustrating, but because my business is set up where, I had 3 closings last week, I got another 3 this week, I'm not worried about it, and I'll pivot, and I got another buyer. Bob, I've been working with, do you know that Jake Villaret in Sub 2?
Yeah.
He just bought 2 of my deals.
Really?
He saved a deal of mine. So I've had 2 just really bad buyers. I had a guy who, I had my 2 RV parks. That's a $90,000 assignment for those 2 RV parks. And I had a deal in Odessa, Texas. And I had this guy all of a sudden swoop it. I never met the guy before. I never seen him. And he was like, I'll take Odessa. And then he called me while I was here last time. And he's like, I'll take those 2 RV parks too. He's like, my wife just cashed out her 401k. We got $500,000. He sounded all legit, everything. And I was like, all right, cool. And he locked up an Arizona house with another Sub 2 member to go live in. Never submitted earnest money, never nothing, just completely tanked all 4 deals. I'm going back and forth with him on the phone. He's coming up with every excuse in the book. The deal almost dies. I have to put it back out there. Jake saved the day, wired earnest money same day, and is closing this week. Took him less than 7 days to get the funding together, save the deal, and then he's also going to buy my Houston deal as well. So again,
Yeah, he's a
in the
stud.
moment, it's in the moment you think like this is the worst. This is and then immediately as long as you make the right decisions, the right outcome will take place. So could I have blown up the deal on the RV park, and could I have blown up all of the things and made bad decisions? Yeah, of course. But because gratefully I'm in a position where I can make smart decisions in those moments, I was able to go secure a much more qualified buyer at that point. Now am I saying go find a new buyer? No. But what I am saying is make the right decision and don't blow up the deal. And I know you're so focused on getting that 100K assignment and that 100K deal, but sometimes the lessons that you learn in the deal are more valuable than the money that you're getting at the closing table. Because
it's going to make you more money in the future too.
Exactly. That lesson that you're learning will end up making you more money in the future.
Yeah, but I feel like
he just wants to be in the 2 comma club. That's all.
Yeah, and it sounds cliche and it sounds corny, but it's 100%
It's fancy. It's sexy. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like knowledge and information in this side of the business especially is so fucking important. The ways to protect yourself, ways for this to never happen to you again. I just had a deal where I don't know, it's a bullshit thing where they wanted the seller to pay an additional month on the mortgage, and we got into a big thing, and so now I know better for next time. I ended up having to take a haircut on my assignment because again, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not gonna fuck over my seller who had nothing to do with it. It's
Right.
my fault. I should have caught it on the contract. I didn't, so I'm gonna haircut $1,500. Call it a day. My fault. Now I know. I just added it to my contract. I added another clause in the contract, so now I know. So that'll save me at least $1,500 in the future because that'll never happen to me again. So, did you miss anything? No. Yes, maybe so. But at least if you can learn something from this scenario, it'll never happen to you again, or at least you'll mitigate and limit the chances of that happening to you again. So you're going to take a 30K assignment, 30K haircut here, possibly, if there's no other options. But think if you actually learned a lesson here, that'll generate more than $30,000 into the future. And it sucks. It's like a breakup right now. You're like, oh, life sucks. It's the worst. I'm never going to get over this. And then
This hurts more than a breakup, Matt. This hurts more than a breakup.
lunchtime will come. You'll say, I'm hungry.
I
need
want my
protein."
money. I want my money. But listen, man. I'm in a position where I'm really working on building out those base hits, and it's not like I'm only going for the bangers. I love the bangers, you know. I want to hit home runs, but I'm really working on getting these consistent deals, and I'm working with Savion, and we're working on this. We're working on our
I
systems.
think
and our
that's the most
processes.
important part.
Exactly.
Right.
Is like, because you saying I need this deal, which of course, like who doesn't need 90 grand or 100 grand? Like, yeah, sure, I need it, I want it, of course. But again, you needing 100K is the same thing as somebody just entering this business and they're like, I need my first deal. I have so much riding on this first deal. Like, eliminate that feeling inside of you by getting those more consistent base hits. People want to laugh at, oh, only a $5,000 assignment, $3,000 assignment. That'll pay the bills for the month or half of the bills.
Absolutely.
Give yourself some breathing room in those moments so you're not making bad decisions.
Singles and doubles.
Singles
And doubles.
Those win the games.
That's it. Hey, just to cheer you up.
I'm
Hey,
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go.
Amazing.
I love it.
Here it
I
is.
love it. I
Wow.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Just to cheer you up. Yeah.
Looking good, man.
My wife hates it.
Good.
My wife hates it.
Nah. Looking good, man. Looking good. We gotta get you with
I
the.
look like a 70-year-old man. Stop it. Like,
I'm
yeah.
jealous. That's a full beard.
Yeah.
I could never.
Yeah. It's going off at the end of this week, but
I have
Nah,
this
keep
weird,
it. Keep it.
I
I
do.
developed this weird line in my chin, I think, from how I've been sleeping, and now it's like permanent. And when I shave, because there's like a fold, I miss all the hair in there. And this morning we were getting coffee, and she looked at me, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "We have to get that figured out because she's like, you missed like that because the skin folded over." She's like, and I was like, "Yeah, that's I don't know."
you got it.
Trying to get
Got a weird thing going on with my facial hair. I've got the exact opposite of Hitler stash. Like in the middle of my mustache, middle of my beard, there's no hair.
Oh,
You guys.
interesting.
Uh-oh, another
Yeah.
video.
Okay, Carson.
No hair right here.
Oh wow, that's just how it goes.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's a wild, yeah.
Already know.
I always
I'm in
tell
my
myself,
birthday suit
I'm
right
gonna-
now.
I'm gonna do a beard. I'm gonna do it, and then I get like a week and a half in, and I was like, no way, no way. I do not have the balls.
Yeah.
I'm just
You-
ashamed in public.
You look pretty young without it. You look pretty good. In a
Got
good
it.
way.
Gotta go young. Gotta go.
Yeah.
You
Matt
look
looks
like
younger
you're
than I do.
32.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Y'all look
I
about the
got
same
something.
same age.
Damn, Carson was like, don't go that far.
Stop lying.
He's like,
Definitely, like, he's definitely looking at least 20. Like over 22, over 23.
What are you
John's
saying
gonna
about
start
me,
aging
Carson?
himself with that coffee. He's
What are
gonna.
you saying?
What are you saying about you?
He's all.
Do you look like you're,
stressed
like,
out, drinking coffee.
22,
He's gonna look 50 by
23?
next
I look
week.
I look a cool 22 with the little beard coming
Something
in.
like that.
All
You can't
right.
let
Around
the
there.
stress, you can't let the stress
I
start.
feel like I'm
aging
30.
you.
I got mobility and energy. I just feel like I'm 30. I feel like I think like I'm 30.
Carson's the
So
youngest guy on
John,
the stage.
I'll let you guys decide that.
Just a
Shoot,
number.
I may be the youngest one in this whole freaking lobby right here.
Probably.
That'd be funny.
14-year-old. So John, what
I am 14.
did you learn? What will you learn from this experience then?
Number one takeaway: anytime somebody makes an offer on land, it's not going to be subject to a survey. I want to see a dollar amount. I want to see a specific figure, because that's that bullshit that they could say, oh, well, let me go and run a survey on this. I don't know who ran the survey. I don't know if they're cutting corners.
So being sold as is, that's it. That's what you're saying.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we had it listed as is, but what we did was this agent, and this is the problem. This agent never educated me. You know, I thought that this agent was gonna really go to bat for me and like be on my team and shit. Cause like, honestly, dude, I thought that agents were supposed to have a fiduciary agreement to educate me and have my best interest in mind. But this guy seems to just have his own best interest in mind, and he didn't make me aware of the fact that the price that I would be netting at closing would be subject to the survey. And of course, you know, I can't. This is my fault. You know, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that this would affect something. You know, I was under the impression that this was a 15.37 acre lot, and now they're saying it's 14 point. He's calling me right now. I don't want to answer his phone call right now. I'm not gonna answer. I'm gonna decline. He's saying he sent me an email. He says the property is 14.827 acres. Where the fuck did they come up with this arbitrary ass number?
What was the OG proposed number?
OG supposed number on the county appraiser and everything was 15.37.
Huh. And they said how much? 12 something?
Now they're saying it's 14.827.
14.
So not like super far off though, right?
Yeah, but where the fuck did all that acreage go? He says, oh, well, you know, we don't know. Last time it could have been surveyed in the 1980s. I'm like, okay, but a fucking ruler was still a ruler. I didn't know that, you know, an inch changed. There's no metric that changed. What would have changed? 2 inches is
So
still 2 inches.
because of the size change, the buyers automatically reduce their offer then?
So they submitted an offer for $75,000 per acre, and then what they did was they got a survey. I don't know who did the survey, but they got a survey done, and now they're saying that this is actually 14.827 acres. It's not 15.37 acres. So because of the type of offer that I accepted, not knowing what type of offer I was accepting because this agent didn't educate me, but it's still my fault because maybe I should have consulted, you know, somebody else. I just want to take responsibility for the situation that I'm in. I don't want to say, you know, woe is me, you know, happenstance. I'm a victim of circumstance, but I didn't know. So because I didn't know what I didn't know, I signed the agreement to say the buyer will pay $75,000 per acre. And I was of the impression that this was a 15.37 acre lot, so I've been running my numbers accordingly. And I goofed. So now I look like a dumbass. And I've said way too much about, you know, me making big money on a deal that I'm not going to make that big money on. And I look like a fucking idiot.
Whoa. Not making that big of a money?
It's not.
Let's take a survey. We got 43 people
know,
here.
that's
We got
what-
5 people on stage. How many people are willing to take $50,000 or more, but not $100,000 or more?
Yeah. Drop some fire in the chat and that if you were offered $50,000, you would be this upset
You'd
about it.
stick your nose up and say, "Nah, that stinks. I don't want it." Come on, John. Perspective.
If I'm expecting something and I'm fitting information, I don't know. It's a lot about the principle.
Okay, so based
Maybe
on
I'm just
principle,
younger,
you
but-
wouldn't take the 70K.
Well, if I absolutely had to, I'm taking the 70, but I'm
if
fighting
there's a
for the
gun to your
100. I'm
head, you
fighting for
will.
what I if
Oh, yeah.
I'm fighting for what I deserve though. At the end of the
Absolutely.
day,
absolutely, absolutely. But if at the end of the day you're going to lose everything, what are you going to do?
There's no ifs or whats or buts about it, I suppose. So I guess I just have to suck it up and take it in the gut.
Yeah,
But
I
um,
feel for you, man.
It
the
hurts, man.
battle's not
It
over yet.
hurts.
We got a week, dude.
No,
We got a week of
we
war
got like
left.
3 days. We got like 3 days left.
3 days
Tuesday.
of war left, dude. Blitzkrieg. Hit him before I even know it.
Let's go, Carson.
For real. Nah, you can't hit him with
Do
nothing.
you have any abilities to counter at all to their 30K reduction request?
It's not a request because of the type of agreement I signed.
So they're just going basing off the language of the contract saying X amount of dollars per acre, and now the new survey is in with the actual measurements. So they've just updated based off the language then, correct?
Hey, is the realtor representing both you and the buyer?
No. This is a different agent representing the buyer, but I'm sure those two agents are cool. You know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is the other agent in his brokerage?
I don't think they're in the same brokerage. I'll have to check though.
So I like what Adam said. File a claim for real estate recovery fund if you get screwed by that agent. So file something so that it's on his record.
This guy's got me mad, bro.
To put this into perspective too, the 2 RV parks in the Odessa deal that I was just referring to, I originally had a $50,000 down payment offer for the RV parks. The original was 120, and then I said if one buyer takes both parks, it's 100K. So I was given a 20K cut. I came up and was like, hey man, my buyers want it. They'll pay me out separately, but they only want to put 50K down. And I was like, I don't know if I want, like, that's not great for me. Then all of a sudden this mystery buyer comes along and he's like, I'll take Odessa, your 2 RV parks. I'll take this Arizona deal. We'll take it all. And then all of a sudden earnest money doesn't get delivered, all of these different things. This guy's telling me stories about his girlfriend is the one with the 401k account that they just cashed out. Her father logged into the Wells Fargo account, wired himself $25,000, so they had to put a fraud thing on there, get the sheriff involved. And her license was expired, so they can't go to the bank, they can't go anywhere. So then they had an appointment at the DMV, but the DMV wanted to see a birth certificate. So then they had to get her 83-year-old grandmother in Minnesota to go to the courthouse to get a copy of her birth certificate. Dude, the stories went on and on and on, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. The sellers of the RV park, I've done like 6 deals with him. I'm ruining my relationship with him. So now I got to go back to my original buyers and try to get them to commit to a $50,000 down payment. So now I'm cutting by $50,000. You're getting a $30,000 haircut. I'm getting a $50,000 haircut on my 2 RV parks. And you haven't seen me see a single word about it because I have systems in place where I made X amount of dollars last month and X amount of dollars the month before and an X amount of dollars this week and next week and all so on and so forth. It's just the name of the game. I've been doing this for over 10 years. These are just the bumps and the bruises that you get when it comes along with it, and you just kind of get numb to it, and you just always have to expect something is going to happen. And that's why it is somewhat dangerous to talk about something so early.
Yep.
Especially on a 100-day contract or whatever it is. I'm not going to drop any names, and I think he already discussed it and talked about it, but I'm not going to do it for him. But there was that other deal, that big land deal that fell apart for a person in this community, and he lost out on $400,000 assignment on that deal.
Oh, that didn't go through?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
So, and he never came up braggadocious, nothing. He was just excited to talk about it. But it's just, again, the nature of the business. Things will go through. You'll be sitting at the closing table. You'll be getting assignments. And then there's going to be ones that fall apart. It's just no matter how good you are, no matter how good your systems are, your contracts, sometimes things just fall apart. And so dealing with this issue is bad enough in and of itself, but when you also get in your own head, because you're like, man, I've been talking about this for 100 days. I've been telling everybody I'm getting 100 bands. Now I need to figure out a way to get that 100 because I've been telling everyone I'm getting 100, and if I don't get 100, I'm not that guy anymore. I need to be that guy.
No, that's
I'm
not
not
true.
that guy, dude. That's what's really killing me, bro.
So fuck being that
No.
guy. Be the guy that
Nah,
gets
dude, I
70
want to
grand
be that
instead of
guy, bro.
100K.
Fuck
No,
being
no.
70K guy.
You
I want to
you
be
want
that
to
100K
be
guy.
All right, well then
no.
give me the
You want to
contract.
be
I'll sign it.
John.
Give me the contract.
Yeah.
Give me the contract. I'll sign it.
Yeah.
I'll be
I mean,
70K
listen,
guy.
I don't want to be a brokey. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a brokey, but I really wanted to be the 100K guy. But I don't want to be a brokey. But I really want to.
You'll
be
close
100K.
another deal. You'll close another deal. It'll become a 100K account.
Yeah, well,
If you don't work this out with this deal, because there's nothing saying that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I still can't wrap my head around this, John. You said that the survey came back at 14.82 something, right? Acres. The guy told you he's selling you 15 acres. Why can't you go back to him and say, hey, there seems to be a discrepancy based on the survey. I want to run my own survey to prove that you're right. Can you give me an extension so that we can run another survey?
then I got to come out of pocket though for that survey.
Well, shit,
You're
John.
What, $1,000 for that much land?
I don't know.
I mean,
don't
I'm about
know
to
what
do
it costs,
450
but
for this one in Houston.
It's more than. I mean, it's a time thing, you know. Do you think I really should do that?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. We're right here.
Well,
You'd
I
have
mean,
to get an
it-
extension.
15, 30
you-
minutes ago, you were saying that, $30,000 haircut is too much and you're bummed. And now you don't know if you want to go after it? Just lighting a fire under you, brother.
And I think that puts it in perspective of like, no, $30,000, that's a huge haircut. And then it's like, all right, well, ask to get an extension for a survey that might cost you $1,000. And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, all right, well, then the 30K might not be just
As
move on
important.
and close the deal out.
Yep.
Get your
Exactly.
W, close the deal. Because closing a deal is a W. I just took a haircut on a fucking assignment where I'm not even getting paid on it anymore. There's an issue on it, and I was like,
Dude,
instead
that's
of me
not getting a
sitting-
haircut. You're
instead of
going
me
bald on
sitting
that one.
here and dealing with
Yeah,
it,
bald.
it was a $5,000 assignment that I have to split with a partner, and I was like, you know what? This isn't where I can't spend time on this. This is idiotic. So you do it. Remove my $2,500 from this. Close the deal out. Pay out my partner. I'm gonna move on. So it's like these are the things that happen. But a W is that deal will close and my partner will get paid. You going and actually making it to the closing table and making 70K is a W. You blowing up the deal because you want that additional 30K, that's not a W. So again, you just have to right now, today, figure out like, is this something I want to explore, trying to extend to try to figure out a way to get me that additional 30K or more money? Or did I learn my lessons so this hopefully doesn't happen to me again, get my 70K, reinvest or do whatever you're going to do back into your business so you can start churning out more consistent money.
Matt, I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. It's not even like I'm not reinvesting in my business. I put all my money in my business, but we're not closing deals consistently yet. Like we got a lot of leads and shit in the pipeline,
Right.
but like none of them are closing yet. And so look,
Right.
that's where I'm at, bro. I got a lot of leads and shit in the pipeline, a lot of promising things, but it's like I'm not at the point where I'm closing these deals every month just yet. Like I've closed multiple
And that's
deals.
why you're stressed out.
Yes,
And that's why you're
Matt.
stressed out.
But I'm trying. I'm really trying to like be that guy that is closing deals multiple times a month, and it's like I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm in proximity with the right people. Hopefully, I'm here with Dan. Dan's not here right now, but I'm hoping.
I think you're the guy that's trying to do a lot all at once.
I
You're
know,
the guy
man.
you're the REI Rev guy. You're trying to build this community. You're trying to do land deals. You're trying to do deals with Savion. You're trying to do this. You're talking to Investor Lift. You're the guy that's trying to do everything all at once. And that person never fully makes it in any of those directions. They kind of they get 100 yards out in one direction and 100 yards, but it's a 4,000 yard race and you're getting 100 or 200 yards at a time.
No. That's not what happens. What happens is you go 100 yards in land, and then when you want to go 100 yards in investor lift, you fall behind that 100 yards. You fall 30 to 30 yard line on land now because you've put your efforts and time into the investor lift. Then you go into REI Rev, you go 100 yards. Now you've lost 70 yards on land. Now you're going to lose another 30, 40 yards on investor lift just because you want to do. That's what happens when you don't have systems set up, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, when you got a good team, hey, imagine you got a good football team. You're like, hey, you need to go to 50 yards over here. and then your buddies right over here, number 13, number 16. Y'all need to go 75 in this direction. There's things like that. Honestly,
Yeah,
you
but
have access to
teams
so
don't
many
get
people,
built.
man.
Yeah, but teams don't get built like that. You get people in there. You get those linemen. You get those fullbacks. Whatever. Okay, you get all those
Hmm.
players in. Okay, and you're gonna fire a lot of them. Okay, because
It
not
happens.
all of them are gonna be good. Okay, so that still keeps you from going forward as fast as you want. Fastest,
I mean,
best
you
way,
gotta
in my
think about
opinion,
this
is
too.
you got to build one. Once that's built, automate it, delegate it, and move on to the second one.
Yeah, man.
Automate it, delegate it, move on to the third one.
I
Yeah,
implore
that's what I'm
you,
talking about.
Yeah.
I
There's
implore
there's
you, John, to, and I get it, man. Like this community has grown to such a crazy extent. You're getting people reaching out to you that you never thought would be reaching out to. You're in proximity with people you never thought you'd be in proximity with. You're having conversations behind closed doors with people in regards to this group, like things that you never thought would be taking place. And it's very hard to not have those conversations when they're being presented to you, and it's very hard not to be focused on other things that are going on. But the key to all of those things taking place and having those conversations and hopefully nurturing that into business in the future, the center point and the foundation has to be your business though first. And your business is a consistent model that's consistently generating revenue, whether it's wholesaling, whether it's purchasing properties, whatever you want it to be. But there has to be consistent income coming in. When you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, you don't have a W-2 like you don't have, like I don't have. There has to be a consistent model that's in place, or as consistent as possible, whether that's one revenue stream or multiple. Because if you don't, there will be ebbs and flows of this business where you will get extremely stressed out because you went 2 or 3 months without a single dollar coming in, and you're going to be in these positions. So I think, like, again, I implore you to try to figure out to the best of your ability. Again, when I was 22, I had no idea what avenue of real estate I really wanted to go into. It was Section 8 at that time, but I had shiny object syndrome too, and I didn't have Discord and all these people, so I can only imagine how bad I would have been then in terms of like, oh, I want to do all of these things. But try to figure out that one thing that you truly are interested in that's a realistic pursuit of you to generate that consistent model for, and then create a consistent model with structures and systems and processes that can be its own thing at some point, that will then allow you to step away from it and then go explore whatever other options you want out there. So if that thing is land, if it's just residential, if it's whatever you want it to be, but build that model first. Head down, don't come up until that thing is built and you're churning out those consistent deals, and then take a step around it, and then go work on your 100K deal machine, go work on the networking and all of those things. Only be focused on things that are generating and have the potential to make you money right now. You need the money, you need the resources in order to develop to what you want to be, where you want to be, I should say. Not who you want to be, but what you want to be. And I think that's the key. I think that's the big missing piece, because I've heard you talk about it before. You just said it just now. Like, you're putting in the work. You feel like you're putting in the work and you're just not getting the results out of it. And this business, if done correctly, the energy you put into it, you'll get a direct result out of it if done correctly. And like I always say, I always see people like making random phone calls to sellers, and the lists are random and all of these things, and they're like, oh, I cold called for 8 hours today, I didn't get anything. And it's like, well, you didn't really, there was no method to your madness. So they feel like they're working hard. So it's just hyper focusing on something, I think, is going to be your best thing to figure out what that avenue is.
Um, if I could just jump in real quick, I have a
Yep.
few questions. What's up with y'all? So I'm wondering if I should withhold any sort of information to my investors, because I feel like they could just go right behind my back and buy the property, even if they're my buyers on contract. I mean, sellers, sorry.
Wait. So you're saying that you have the properties under contract and you fear that your buyers are going to go around you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that to me sounds like a lack of rapport or relationship between you and your buyers. If you're just sending it to anybody and everybody, okay, that's the kind of feeling that you're gonna get. Technically, they shouldn't be able to. They can't legally. That's why
Yeah.
you might want to think about filing a memorandum on a property that you have under contract, okay, to make sure that even if they go around you somehow, okay, and get the seller to, not want to deal with you in any way, that at some point you will be able to, get paid in the future, okay, because you have a memorandum on the property. But I would start building those relationships with your buyers. Okay, make them strong. Make them understand that, hey, I'm not in this for just this one deal. I'm in this for long term. I want to keep bringing you deals. Okay, so let's build that strong relationship together. That will allow them to work with you.
Okay. All right. I think I understand now. All right. So I have another one. Uh, is using Zillow to comp properties accurate?
It's a good starting
pretty
point.
good.
Okay.
If you're in a disclosure market where the prices are just available for you right there, it can be pretty good.
Yeah.
And I like it. I use Zillow personally because like I can see where stuff is relative to my subject property. That's really important. And it's just nice. But I'm in Texas, so it's not going to show you the sold price. It'll show you what it was listed at and what price was on the internet whenever it went under contract. Not necessarily what it went under contract for, but I like to use a little bit of what I call mental gymnastics to kind of formulate like, did this thing get under contract in 2 days? Okay, maybe it sold for like 3K over asking. I could put that. Did it sit on market for like 3 months? Maybe they had like a 10K price drop. But it's a guesstimate. Best way would get MLS.
All right. So I literally just started wholesaling last night, and I think it's really interesting that you can get this all done, finished in a few hours. It's kind of, it doesn't feel real.
I'd level the expectations because it definitely I mean, how long you been working this deal, John?
A while.
It takes months. For some
Months.
deals. Some deals are like easy and it can take like a week to close, but we're not even talking about the how many cold calls you had to make to find it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the only problem for me is finding investors that are willing to just buy.
Oh
So
man,
I have
you'll be surprised.
really.
Yeah, dude, because they're investors. They're just trying to make a dime. You don't have to convince them that a property's worth an amount when it objectively is. So it's just I'd say find the deal is the hard part, but they're more than happy to pay you a fee. Because I didn't mean to say what I just said to discourage you. It's totally real. It just takes work.
It does.
Yeah, I
This is
understand.
not-
Yeah. Yep.
not something
Takes
that's
the
gonna happen
hustle muscle.
overnight. And you see, sometimes you get beat up. Sometimes you get fucked up at the last second, and it's not fun. It's not fun, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. This goes out to anybody who's thinking about wholesaling. Like, if you've never done it before and you're thinking about like just getting started, please don't think that this is going to be something that's going to be easy. It's not an easy thing, and it's also very emotionally draining. This is a very much, especially if you got no money to invest in your marketing, it's a fucking roller coaster. So some days you might feel like you're on top of the world and you're closing a deal here or there and you maybe have something in the pipeline. Some days you can get fucked up. So if you are going to get started in this, I will say, like, definitely make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that can keep you, in a positive headspace, because things don't always go according to plan, as we clearly see. But I'm really grateful to be in proximity with the people here because, they put a lot into perspective for me because, this is a big deal for me. I'm very upset, even though it may not. I mean, it probably looks like I'm upset. I'm upset, but I don't want to act irrational. So the first thing I do is always, consult with people before I make any sort of decision. Just like that agent called me. I'm not in a space mentally to entertain a conversation with that guy right now. So I'm not gonna talk to him.
Bob, by the way, the investor that I had found actually works for. She's a vice president at a title company already,
Nice.
and she was looking for properties in general, and she had people to work with. I just don't
Excellent.
know if I should trust, because I basically did the same thing earlier with some other guy. I just called him up off just seen him on Google, called him, asked him, does he know any investors? And then I immediately gave him the property without even calling the owner. And then he just flew right by me. I
Well,
know
did
some
you
of
have the
properties
properties under
well.
contract?
No, that was
No.
my issue.
Yeah. So
Well,
first, we always say first go find your cash buyers. When you do, you build those relationships, and then the ones that you feel like you can trust, then you can give them the addresses of the properties that you don't have under contract. But if you haven't built that relationship yet, first put the property under contract after knowing what they are willing to buy, then take it to them.
how do you know if they're going to be cash buying with cash?
You ask them. You know, there's
Very
a
hard money works
questionnaire.
too.
Yeah, there's a questionnaire in our chat, or I'm sorry, in our resources, I believe, where you can download and you can ask those questions from cash buyers or buyers that you're talking to.
You said questionnaire.
Cash buyer questionnaire, yeah. John, where is that in? Is that
Do me a
in
favor.
resources?
Send me a DM. I'll get it sent over to you. I gotta figure out where it's at, but I'll get it sent over to you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all
man.
for your time, bro.
You got
100%, man.
Hey guys, I'm afraid I gotta jump off. I got a phone call to make right now, but it's great seeing you all. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Pleasure to see you, man. Don't cut that beard now. Don't cut that beard.
Hey, Bob.
That's the only. That beard is the only
Yeah.
thing keeping John from jumping out the window right now.
Right? Only for John. Yeah.
Make sure
Don't
you
tempt
keep
him.
it.
Don't tempt him.
Oh heck yeah, dude.
See you guys.
Take care.
Yeah, Bob.
Later,
Hey, I have
Bob.
a question on a deal actually. For you, Mr. Matt Riley, you had spoke about this on one of your videos, because I listened to them because you're kind of a little bit of a master with that creative finance stuff, and I have definitely not a little bit big master, but I have a lead, and by me I mean my good friend Marco. He's got a fire sub 2 lead. Only thing is it's a VA. She wants 20K down. And it's VA, and you had said something. You get up to like $1 million in credits. That'd be nice because this is a $250,000 or 425K property. But like, she wants to buy another house, and you were saying on the video something about like 100 miles or like, what would you recommend in this situation?
Yeah, so FHA, VA and FHA are similar in nature in terms of some of the qualifications. So FHA is just a lot of first-time homebuyers use it. That's a 3.5% down payment. They have lower qualifications in terms of credit score, DTI, all of that kind of stuff. So technically speaking, you are allowed to have 2 FHA loans in your name at the same time. Now, most of the time, similar to a VA, FHA, you would have to either sell your property or refinance into a conventional loan to get your FHA back so you can go use it again. Now, FHA has stipulations in the language that states you can get another FHA if you are relocating due to a job, if you are moving 100 miles away or more from the subject property for specific reasons. So there's like 5 different reasons or so of why they would allow. Now, it's not automatic, but you can submit those reasons to FHA and see if they'll get approved. VA, you are allowed to hold multiple VA loans in your name as long as you're within your entitlement credit dollar amount. So they did raise the entitlement credit amount in certain markets, I believe it is, up to like $999,000. So basically $1 million. So if you had if you had $1 million in entitlement credits, which is basically your qualification, and you went out and bought a $250,000 house, you technically have $750,000 remaining to go purchase other properties with. All owner-occupied style properties, but you have $750 left. So the issues that get arisen with VA is, let's just say you have $500,000 in entitlement credits, just like every American person does, is do they go buy a $250,000 house if they're qualified for $500,000? No, unlikely. Dan the man. No, very unlikely. What they do is they go buy a $500,000 house, and so now their entitlement credits are full. They've used them all on that one property. And most
They
of
want
the
me to
time,
take
the
a
only way to
30K
get those
haircut.
entitlement credits back is to sell that property.
The land guy.
But
Mhm.
there are ways to navigate around it. There is a sub two
And they're saying that the lot
lender.
is
His name is
sold
Matt
for
Bell. I
15,000.
can send you his information. He's actually working a file for me right now. He is.
Would he work in Texas?
Yeah, he works. Yeah, he's doing a deal for me in Florida, and I believe he's nationally licensed, or at least licensed in the majority of the states. And what he'll do is he'll actually run the numbers for your seller in that scenario and just say, okay, here's what your current loan is, here's how much entitlement credits you have left, here's what you're able to do, and then he'll help you structure the deal so you can do, like, we're doing it a specific way on this Florida deal. We're doing like almost like a lease option contract until they close on their new house. That the seller of that property is building a house that's going to be ready in November. So we're structuring it in a way where we're doing like a lease back for 2 months until then, and then they can use that lease back money for their down payment, and then they'll be able to qualify. So there's specific ways to do it. VA is tough to do, but there are ways to do it. Yep, Matt Bell right there.
Gotta do it.
Okay.
So he's great too, because like now even in my emails, when I'm doing outreach, if I see on PropStream or wherever else that they have a VA loan, I have a Gmail template that I use where at the end of my email I include his information, and he's got a YouTube page as well where he has like 3 or 4 different videos that he created in regards to sub 2 and qualification, and then one specifically for VA and sub 2. So I even include the YouTube link in my email to send out so they can hopefully watch it and understand a little bit more that they're, because a lot of times if you're doing agent outreach, most of the time real estate agents are obviously not mortgage lenders, and they have absolutely no idea anything. So as soon as I send out an email, they're like, no, they have a VA, so they have to sell. And you can't assume it because you're not if you're not a veteran, which isn't true. Non-veterans can assume VA loans, and you can still do a sub 2 on a VA loan, if there's specific things in place. So Matt Bell is fantastic, and he has a YouTube page with like 3 or 4 different videos that you can either watch or send out to somebody as well.
Yeah, no, I can tell that this guy's super knowledgeable just going through his site. He even has a portion like, if you're an investor / sub 2, contact me here.
Yep,
So,
I've sent him a lot
okay.
of business. I never talked to him on the phone up until the other day. I've just been sending people to him, and I had to call him on that Florida deal. And the first thing he said to me when I answered the phone, I was like, hey, this is Matt Riley. He's like, oh, you've been keeping me real busy lately. And I was like, oh, good, because that means that the agents are actually doing something with the information. Tell Dan stop walking. He's just looking for attention back there, John.
He says
Just keeps walking back and forth. He wants us to know it.
No, he just got back in, man. He just got back in.
But it was good because that shows that the agents are actually watching it and actually reaching out to that to Matt Bell. So he's great.
I see what
Yeah,
you mean. Well, I'm pretty serious on this deal. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give him a call, and then I got a thing to go to here soon. So, well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Have a great
Thank
day
you for
today,
having me,
Carson,
guys.
man. It was always a pleasure to share some time with you.
Yo, yo, yo.
Likewise, likewise. All you
Hold
guys.
on, John. We got John B. He's been up on the stage here for a minute, man.
Oh, my fault. I thought he already. Go ahead, bro. You're good.
I'll be quick. Hey, John. So I called the number one result from Google from the surveyor. He said they're 12 weeks out, which I'm assuming most are going to be backlogged. But what he did say, I got his email information. He'll take a look at your survey as part of the coding process and just tell you what he thinks. But also it's a very small community, especially that area. So they probably don't know each other anyways. But I'll shoot you that email if you want to get if you want to get his opinion just from him looking at it.
2 to 12 weeks.
No, 12 weeks. They're at 12 weeks until they could even survey it, which most are going to be at least. What's that?
I think it's too much time.
That is a long time, but I'm saying no. That's for a survey to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Generally they're usually a couple of months out. I mean, in most places I look at, but he'll take a look at your survey. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you email him as part of his quoting process, just tell you his opinion and also giving you any feedback of the company that took a look at it. Also, I'm not a big fan of your broker, but I don't see that he did anything wrong. I mean, all the buyers we're going to want to see are going to want to, or we're going to want to verify that acreage. So I'm not sure. What do you think he did wrong?
I think that he didn't educate me on what could potentially happen. And this is my fault because, I was naive. I didn't know what to expect. I was just inexperienced. This is the first big land deal, I've done. So clearly, there's tricks of the trade and buyers can, make their offers in a way where they could, get even more of a discount. Because look, we listed this thing for $85,000 an acre. And then, we wanted to kind of move quick. This guy was coming in cash. He offered $75,000 an acre. And so I was anticipating we were going to make more money. But we already gave him, a discount off of what we listed it for. So I just feel like he's getting even more of a discount. And so this agent, I just feel like the agent didn't do a good job of educating me on the potential outcome. If we were to get to closing, they were to run the survey, and then they would get even more of a discount. I don't know. I just feel robbed. I just feel like this agent didn't really educate me as best he could, and he was more concerned with his commission than making.
I think that's tough though, because and I have no idea. So maybe it is his fault, and he should have. Maybe that's something that's so common on the land side that's like steps 1, 2, and 3 is discuss what happens if the survey comes back and it's not what we say it is. So there is that chance, but I think, like you said, you don't know what you don't know, and one thing is that so many things can happen in a real estate transaction. So to discuss all the different things and educate you on all the things that could potentially happen. Like sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, I educate you once the thing happens, and it's like, oh fuck, okay, now that we have this in front of us.
But what pissed me off, Matt, is this guy. He was pretty much like little broing me, pushing me off. Like, oh, I'm out of the country, I can't answer your calls right now. I'd call him, I'd send him text messages. He wouldn't get back to me until it was convenient for him to talk to me, and that kind of stuff just got me upset, man, because I feel like he was more concerned with just getting, his listing agreement. He could have potentially sold this off market to this guy, because apparently he knows all of these agents that have put in offers and have expressed any interest. But he just didn't. He wanted to get a listing agreement, and I gave him what he wanted, and he just kind of took what he wanted, and I just felt like he should have at least told me, hey, with an offer like this, we should probably be a little bit mindful. This could potentially end up being less than what we expect at closing if they're going to run a survey. There's no way, if somebody is experienced in doing multiple deals like this, like that this isn't something foreseen, or this isn't some sort of like tactic. Because look, if I'm a buyer, of course I'm going to try to run game on somebody, to try to get a deeper discount. That's just the nature of the business. But I feel like this agent should have at least told me, hey, this is something that you should look out for. This could potentially happen.
Who gave you this? How did you get the broker? The reason I said I'm not a fan of it is because remember when we were all looking for buyers, when I reached out to a bunch of brokers, I text messaged him once, I emailed him once, he never replied. Other people from his brokerage did reply. So that's why I wasn't a fan of him. I don't know how you got hooked up with him, but
yeah, dude, it's funny.
You should ask me about him.
I'm sorry, man. The person, I didn't know to ask. The person that put me in touch with this guy actually left the community, so probably not good business overall, man. Probably just got myself involved in some bad business. Yeah. But I certainly will learn from this mistake.
Did you have any other buyers? Did he have any buyers? I mean, it was listed on the market. I thought this guy was the only buyer. I thought there weren't many options.
There was only one other person that submitted a formal offer, but their offer was contingent upon appraisal, and it wasn't cash. It was financing. And it was the same offer though. Hold on, I see my computer's about to die for some reason. I gotta figure out what's going on with the charger, but I'm still listening.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is this would have happened with any buyer. I mean, I know you're bummed he he didn't let you know. But I think it's more. I think you're really pissed about the communication. But I think it's just so common about that survey. But I'll give you the email. Anyways, I'll give you the email address for this other survey if you wanted to take a look at your survey, and also find out what the discrepancy was. Is it the gross area or was it net area? I'm guessing it's a gross area. But
I'll have
all
to
right,
ask.
I'll shoot you that.
I appreciate this, John. I really do. Because look, I asked him, well, why would where did the extra square footage go? And his only response was, oh, well, this was probably measured in the 1980s, 1990s, whatever. But I don't understand how that would affect anything. A square foot was a square foot in 1980, and a square foot is a square foot today in 2023. So that just didn't seem like a legitimate response. But I don't know, man. It's to the point where I'm kind of so frustrated, and it's supposed to close here. I might try to fight back, but at the end of the day, I can't really complain about making 50 grand on a deal, because it's still an American salary. So I'll still have I'll still have something to post about on Instagram.
No, I get it. All right. Well, we'll see you back to your normal self tomorrow, right?
Hopefully.
All right. Take care.
Appreciate you, John. Thank you.
No problem.
We had Supreme John up here, but he's gone now. I don't know what his question was. We got Dan the Man Fazio in the house, coming back. Bob, he stepped out. Here's John. I'm going to try to get my charger together. I'm listening, though.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yo.
Yo, what's happening? So yeah, Matt, I sent you all the info for that 1/2 deal. This is in Philadelphia. It's in a good part of Philly. It's in South Philly. I know I showed you the the information. It's a 2.8. I think what he did was he bought it back in 2021, and then or back in 2019, and then he refied it back into that 2.7 interest. Yeah. But now he's being foreclosed on because he lives out in Rhode Island. And, I guess he said that because we were supposed to get on the property to go check it out and make sure it was good in interior, but then he said that they changed the lock. But when I told Bob and them, they said that they usually do that when the property's vacant. So I think we need to get in touch with them. But I wanted to see if you had some time later in the afternoon, because he said that he's down for doing the sub 2, as long as it won't hit his credit report, because he said he's fine walking away with zero money. Like, he doesn't care. He just doesn't really want it to hit his credit report. How the foreclosure thing goes.
How much does he owe?
He said that the total thing is up to 280. He said the total payoff. I tried to get mortgage payoff statement, but he hasn't sent me. He's been busy working and stuff, but he's free in the afternoon, so maybe around 5 or 6 if you have time. I'm not sure how you looking on that. We can probably give him a quick call.
His prop stream shows a balance of 260, so if it's up to 280, he might be like 20K in arrears.
In arrears, right? Okay. Yeah, that's what I see too.
Yeah, I mean, this is off market, obviously, right?
Yeah, it's off market. I think if you put it in Zillow, have that auction thing. You know how they always put those pre foreclosure auctions. Yeah, they have that. Because he was telling me he was gonna have an agent listed, but since they changed the locks and stuff, he couldn't go ahead and do any of that. But I think he said that he's down to listen to proposals. So we got to see when we can. I think he said around 5 or 6, so I can see if if you do have some time. Yeah, exactly. So he's just you know what I mean? It's either that or he just gets foreclosed on. But I think, you've seen the pictures and how it looks. He said he bought it just like that, when it was flipped.
What's he just ran into bad times or what?
Guess so. Yeah, he didn't really break it down too much. He was just saying that he just isn't in around Philadelphia anymore. He just lives up in Rhode Island.
This looks really nice on the inside.
Mhm.
I mean, as long as it's remotely close to this condition, this is like a nice rehab.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I, and it's a good part of Philly too. So I mean, the sub two for this would be pretty. Somebody would pick it up really quick, but I just want to see like what terms would like not what terms, but see if he's willing to put pen to paper. I mean, what else would you need from him? Just mortgage payoff, right?
Just the most up to date mortgage statement. Yeah, just to show what the exact default in arrears is to know what needs to be caught up. But I mean, PropStream is showing, not that this is super accurate, but PropStream is showing an estimated value of 346. Um,
Well, no,
you,
Adam said that he thinks that it's a wrap because he said he looked at it. Oh, Adam said that he was the agent who was supposed to list it. I don't know. He said Mick Fatini, so I heard of Mick Fatini.
Mix a team.
Um, Mick Fatini. This is one realtor guy that's out there. But if you do have some time, Matt, because I know you like just moved in and stuff, and you're still settling down, you can probably set up like a quick call. You can give him a quick call, see if he's available for like 6.
Yeah, I mean, this one, again, I don't know what it's worth, like as is value or ARV, but
I think
uh,
it's pretty accurate where it's at, 280. So I think that's what it is, bro. He has no equity in it to sell because he said 280, and that's just like I don't know. It's weird why this
that's what he
guy's
bought
just
it. But that's what he bought it for in 2019 is 275.
right. Yeah. So yeah, it really didn't change too much.
So I would just pay closing costs, pay the arrears. Comps are 280 when I looked at it. Really? Okay. Prop
It's
sheet.
around there. I mean, in that area, I would say. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you could pay arrears, pay closing costs, and if you wanted to wrap it, because it looks like rental comps are like 1,800 according to Redfin. Um, your monthly payment on this thing is probably 1,125 for the principal and interest. It's probably like
Yep.
1,500, 1,400 maybe. So you could probably make a couple bucks on a rental, but you could probably make 600 to 900 bucks if you wrap it, plus get majority of your money back as well.
So you think this one would be good for just to like to wrap to an end user, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just going off principal and interest alone, uh, where is it? Like I said,
Rent for like 1900 around there.
yeah,
You
that's
can
what I'm
probably
saying.
get
So,
nine.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you could probably make 800 to 900 bucks a month on a wrap, um, and like I said, get a 10, 15, $20,000 down payment as well.
Shit, what's good, man? We this JV on this, man. We'll get some money and break some bread.
Yeah, that one's again anything when you got an interest rate like that, your options are are plentiful.
Only thing
And
is that it's FHA, right? And we just gotta make sure, like what the title company is good with dealing it.
yeah, those are the toughest ones for the most part to do because a lot of some title companies, I don't want to say a lot of them, but some title companies will not touch an FHA sub two. And then there's some transaction coordinators that will actually self-perform. They don't even do it at the title company because it's just sometimes a pain in the ass. So um,
Right.
FHA has technically the highest due on sale clause possibility.
Okay. All right. So then what I'll do is I'll see if I can give him a call now. Get the see if I can get that mortgage payoff, so that way we can see the raise and what other stuff he owes. That way we can check how much we have to obviously put up front.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate the help, Matt.
All right, homie.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, bro?
What's up?
So I kind of got the same situation as John a little bit. Got this seller. He's in pre-foreclosure and seems real motivated. First time I talked to him a couple days ago. He has a VA loan. It's about 3 to 4%, so it's a great rate. He knows he's in pre-foreclosure. He just wants to move out. He's not really looking for anything on top. ARV is like 280 in the area. He's looking for, I think he's behind, or he still owes like 220 on it. He said he'd be fine with just, paying it off and really not taking anything. I told him that, we'll try and get you a little bit of cash to walk away with. But so when I went to go ask him for like, the information, I said I needed a recent mortgage statement, need to know how much, you owe in back pay and everything like that. And when I went to go start asking him for this information, he kind of like clammed up a little bit. as if he's like, his response was, "Oh, you're asking me for all this personal information," and I was like, "Well, I mean, it's not really personal information. It's kind of just general information on the pre-foreclosure situation and the mortgage and everything. Any personal information on the mortgage statement, you could, block that out. We don't need that or anything." So kind of like clammed up when we got talking about the information. I don't know if he's being just in denial. He's not ready to, face the fact that this is happening or whatever. How would you guys specifically go about kind of reaching back out to him and doing your follow-ups? I don't want to apply too much pressure on him, but I think this could be a great deal. I'm trying to help him out with this situation and everything. So
You gotta apply pressure, man. He's in pre-foreclosure. He's about to lose his
oh
house.
well, yeah. No, I'm definitely applying pressure. I'm texting him. It's been a couple days since we talked first. I've been following up with him every day. He just keeps telling me, "Oh yeah, I'll call you tonight," and then I'll call you in the morning. And so I'll shoot him a text every time he doesn't call. Kind of just letting him know, like, "Hey, we're here to help, man. I understand this is a bad situation that you're in, and can kind of not be the easiest situation to talk about with people, but we're here to provide a service and a solution to help you out in this." And it just seems like he just clammed up a little bit, getting kind of uncomfortable with the situation. How would you guys kind of word the next call or the next text message? I mean, pretty much.
Did you record that call?
Did I record it?
Yeah.
I believe I do have it recorded. Yeah, I'm using Call Tool, so I think the call recording is on.
If you find it, I'll tell you why he clammed up or not.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys. I rarely get any pushback when I'm getting mortgage information.
Yeah, I usually don't either. It's just, kind of a weird situation because at first when I got him on the phone, I mean, he was super excited to be talking to me. You could tell he was motivated, tell there's stuff going on. He said the only other person he was talking to about the situation was a homeowner saying that they want to come in and kind of catch him, up to speed or whatever on the payments and kind of take them over. And then he had kind of, discussed with me a little bit about it. And he was like, I'm actually glad that you're, a wholesaler and an investor, because the homeowner didn't seem very motivated to do it pretty quickly, and that's kind of what I need. So it was kind of a weird situation where he was so open and so comfortable at first. And then once I started asking or trying to get the little bit of general information I need to, run the numbers on this deal and everything, he kind of just clammed up and backed away.
Did he give you any preliminary numbers by any chance?
Yeah. I know he said he owes about $220, which is almost what he bought it for. He bought it 2 years ago in 2021. He hasn't paid much on it. He said he's behind about 30 to 40. So he was giving me general, estimates of certain things. He said the interest rate is about 3 to 4%, but I just kind of needed to get specifics on things, so I'm not just throwing around estimates to people. So, once I tried to get into the fine details, it was kind of like he just backed away. I don't know if there's something he's not telling me. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think that if he gave you that much detail, APR, how much more or less he owes on it, and he probably gave you the payment amounts, right?
No, we hadn't discussed P&I payments yet. No.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to do.
Probably would have, just ask, hey, around how much does that cost you per month? You know what I mean? Not, hey, let me get your bank statements. I know you'd probably word it that way, but hey, send me some bank statements, this, that, and the other. Like maybe a little too soon. I probably would have gotten him really excited. He would have given me some preliminary numbers. I would have made an offer based on the information that he gave me, with a contingency that while we're going through the process, that he does gather that information. Regardless, that information has to be, provided, because you're taking over someone's monthly payment. Probably would have baited him that way, to be honest.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of how it was. You know, we'd already kind of discussed pricing and everything like that. He told me what he was behind. He said he was okay with pretty much just walking away with it. And I told him, you know, I could try and definitely get you some cash to walk away with. I don't like ever, you know, just telling a seller pretty much there's nothing I could do for you except take over your mortgage unless that's, you know, the exact only thing that I can do. But I was trying to explore options, you know, to be able to get that information to you know what the P&I payments would be and, you know, just run some numbers a little bit more deeper than just some general estimates. So we kind of already discussed what he would take for it, you know, and I definitely know that it can work because the house is in pretty great condition. He just purchased it 2 years ago when it was fully renovated, not long before that, before he moved in. So, you know, there's not much repairs that need to go into it. ARV is a good 280, and what he's asking is pretty much 220 to walk away with, you know, just taking over the mortgage and everything. So, yeah, I just wanted to hear what you guys, how you guys would go about basically trying to, you know, not let this one fall through, you know.
I would call him from different phone numbers is what I would do.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely done that already too. So I just wanted to see if y'all had any.
I missed that part. So he's not
advice.
answering your calls anymore.
No, he does. It's just you know, you could tell he's at first when I talked to him, he's super motivated. A couple days later, now that you know we've talked a couple times and everything, he just seems like he's not really in a rush to get me this info or not really in a rush to move on things. Like, for instance, he told me last night or yesterday, I spoke to him about 3 p.m. He told me, oh, I'm at work still. You know, let me call you at 5. So 5 came, he never called. I shot him a text. He said, oh, you know, I'm so busy or whatever he said. Another excuse, and he said, I'll call you either later tonight or early in the morning. Or early in the morning came, obviously, you know, no call. I shot him another text and, you know, pretty much just telling him, you know, I understand this could be a hard situation. We just need some information. You know, we're here to provide a service and a solution, trying to help you out, pretty much stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't heard anything back from him today.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, are there people that are in pre-foreclosure that have defaults and things like that where it's just a really good, responsible person that fell on hard times and that's why they fell behind? Yes. Are there also people out there that they're in default and pre-foreclosure and foreclosure because they're not organized people? They are not people who regularly pay their bills on time and all of these different things? Yes, there is a large portion of those people too. So I'd love to give this gentleman the benefit of the doubt that he's the first person that just fell on hard times, but he might be this type of person in every other capacity of his life where he's not a responsible person, he pays his bills late, he's not a good communicator, he's all of these things, and so those people just need to be chased a little bit more. And then in those scenarios, like Juan was saying, I don't ever really run into issues when requesting mortgage statements. I don't know if that's because at that point I've already explicitly said what my intentions were and I've built rapport enough where almost they're asking me, okay, what's the next step? What do I need to send you? And I tell them I need a mortgage statement. So in the instance that someone was like, that's personal information, I would probably be fully transparent with them and show them what I'm looking at, the information I have. So it's like, listen, your information is public records. I just need to confirm. Here's my screen that I'm looking at of the information I have. The whole intent of what we're trying to structure here is me making those payments, catching you up, but I need to know how much I need to catch up and what those payments look like in order for me to structure this in a way that makes sense. So if you don't want to share it with me right now, that probably means I didn't build enough rapport with you, so that's fine. Can you just read it off the paper that you have in front of you then so I can write it down? And then in my agreement, it would just state, like Juan was kind of referencing, I need all of that information during my due diligence period then. I will base my offer off of what you're telling me right now, but I need that information during that due diligence. If I don't receive it, then we can't move forward because I don't want to get surprised 3 weeks later.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll actually try and reach out to him today, see if we could hop on like a Zoom call or something.
Yeah. If you don't want to send it to me, that's fine. I understand. I will need it in the future because that is a large part of what we're trying to do here. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then can you just read me the information off of the mortgage statement that you have in front of you? Mortgage balance, interest rate, default, all of those things. Let me write it down, run my numbers, and put an offer together on that. And then once we go into contract, you're going to have to send it to me, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mainly part of his reason for backing off and everything. I think the whole getting the information he felt was personal. I think that was just an excuse. I think his whole thing was that we haven't physically met or whatever. And he seems like one of those type of guys. He was just like, asking me for credentials pretty much. And I just told him, who I am and what I do. But then I kind of said, I'm local. I can come, put a face to a name and meet you in person. And he was like, oh, well, I'm actually working out of state right now and I won't be back for a while. So maybe giving him that Zoom call just so he could see my face, maybe that'll help.
Send him a video. I'm a big video guy. Obviously, you guys see my Loom videos. I have a bunch of my email templates and things like that.
We love your Loom videos, Matt. We love them.
Love Loom. LL. I understand that I'm probably the 100th person that's potentially reaching out to you on your property, and most of them are probably text messages and emails from just random people on the internet. You don't know who they are. So I try to use videos to my benefit to at least quickly introduce myself. So then you watch my video, you talk to me on the phone, those are the two same people. So at least there's a little bit of a connection there. You at least kind of know what I look like at least.
Yeah.
And there's a large population of people out there that still are like, how'd you get my number? Like
right.
They think even finding their number is like Secret Service type stuff. Like, so for you to ask for their mortgage statement, they think that is like insanely private, and like, why would you ever need that?
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I just wanted to make it a quick question real quick. But yeah, I appreciate the feedback, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Matt,
No.
Roz
can I mute John? How do I
Roz is asking, how does he get access to the vault of Mr. Matt Riley's Loom
is it
course?
Mute or server mute?
It's
server
$5,000.
Move to
the
audience.
price is going up.
Drop some fire in the chat if we want to move John to the audience.
Matt hates to put a price tag on his stuff, but I'm telling him, he's got to. He's got to. It's too much sauce, man. Too much sauce.
The first 5 people to buy the video course, those proceeds will go to John's deficit on his land. For just 5 course purchases, we can fund the deficit on John's land deal.
We'll be about $5,000 short. I think it should be first 6, man.
Oh, you're taxing me on that last 5 too?
Got to, man. Y'all know Uncle Sam. We know Uncle John now.
Damn. Our credit card's ready now. That dance up there is crazy.
It looks familiar, right?
That's how you really get this.
I didn't even notice the ring. I didn't even notice the ring light in the video. I thought she was just dancing.
I know it's how you get the seller's attention.
Makes even more. Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys think I do 7 to 10 deals a month? It's not just from negotiation skills. I'm selling my soul out here.
He said, "Honey, get it. Honey, get in here. I gotta get this. I gotta get this."
She's holding the camera and tilting it as I'm dancing, so like they do. Add the graphics. All right. Anything, John? You feeling better now?
Not yet. Not yet.
And you can't be letting this guy sulk in your condo like this.
He just got back.
Bad energy.
Man. He just got back.
We'll slap him. Go in that wing of the condo.
We're playing beach tennis.
Dang, beach tennis sounds brutal.
Are we?
Get your flip flops on.
You see this, man? I don't even know what's going on here. Dan, we're just making plans. He's like, all right, we gotta go somewhere. All right, bet, let's go.
Get your size 15 flip flops on.
I don't have size 15 flip flops.
We wear the same size shoe.
6'6" and the same size shoe.
No. Well, it seems like it'd be a safety hazard.
It would be. Yeah, it would be.
He's like a.
It would be.
He's like almost a foot taller than me.
It would be a safety hazard. Just 2 planks of wood for feet. Just.
I said, what size shoe do you wear? He said, he's like a 12. And I was like, I wear 12. He's like, looking at our feet. Put our feet like side by side.
You guys laid on your back.
We put the measurement thing out. I got the measurement out of the closet. Throw it down.
Dan was like, bullshit. Dan's like, lay down. Put your feet up on next to mine. Let me see.
I was like, come on. I was like, you can't have feet. You can't have feet the same size as mine. You'd be tripping over. How do you balance yourself?
He's still growing. You know?
It's either I have really large feet, or Jason's feet are relatively. And I say relatively because size 12 is a big.
I mean,
big shit.
I don't think I have small feet.
Yes. I do know tall people. I know a few tall people.
What do you consider small?
I don't want to say.
My tongue just rolled in my. Like I was like, no, not even gonna.
Pause.
John's already having enough of a hard day. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, AB with the shoe size. Shoe size. I just want to clarify for anybody that just undev it. Shoes. Shoes. Bigger your shoe, the bigger your shoe size, that you pay.
You know what they say about guys with big feet, right?
They close big deals.
Yeah, and they have large socks.
Do they?
Oh man,
I gotta go break down some boxes.
Yeah. I gotta go break down some deals.
I gotta go break down some living room boxes.
I gotta go do some creative finance, do some sub 2, seller finance.
I'm gonna have to get on the phone with that agent.
Every time we get off topic, AB makes fun of us because we're not talking money. So I gotta go.
He's strictly business. AB does not play.
I gotta go give him something to talk about for tomorrow.
All right.
Put my shades on.
Oh, we got the shades.
That is all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
John, your report card for tomorrow is to show up better attitude.
I'm back in school now, huh?
Back in school, homework.
Well, I failed school. So.
John's getting ready to move into a 3,000 square foot penthouse. I don't know what he's upset about.
That's what I did. You know, this kid just, he's mad about a 70K deal instead of 100. He's living in a beautiful Miami penthouse right now. He's going to play beach tennis later.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm going to the beach. Ooh,
no
going to the beach.
No excuses. Right near the
beach. John, you should stay with me for a little while.
You got a room for me?
Yeah, of course I do.
Say less.
Juan's like, you want to be grateful for what you got going on right now? Come live with me in my five-person household over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I hear the food is good. I hear the food is bomb.
The food, yeah, you know what? The food is freaking phenomenal. So you at least had that. But I'll tell you, the rest of the day, it ain't gonna be no freaking beach volleyball and going out to David Gruntman's restaurants and whatever.
What kind of life do you think I live over here? I don't even leave my house. Jeez.
Oh my God.
Dan is very much a homebody. He does not go out. He very much enjoys watching Sunday Night Football.
I'm very regimented. I go to the gym. I come back home. I take a shower. I go to sleep. I wake the next day and I do my same shit.
Love it. Did you do all right yesterday, Dan? The games?
What game? Oh no. Well, New Orleans won. Sounds good. But the Cleveland Browns. I don't want to talk about it.
The damn Browns.
So on that note, let's do the exit.
All right, take us out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already, please consider inviting somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. Send them that link, discord.gg/REI Rev. I have so much appreciation for everybody in here. This deal has been an absolute roller coaster. I got to get back on the phone with this agent and see if there's anything I can do. But we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. I appreciate everybody's support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.